the evil system has a problem. But before I go on, I think it is important to point out who they are. This is a very hard question to answer, as they know it is important. The people they are oppressing do not know who is oppressing them, or even understand they are being oppressed. By looking at the system logically, you can see the power structure is three-pronged. The first of those powers is the religions. If you have studied any religions, you will see they are all constructs of man, and any religious leader of any rank will know this. So you can safely assume that religious leaders of any intellect are in on the scam. The next of the three powers is the money system, which appears to be run by banks. Just like the religious example, the people at the top of the banking system know they are pulling money out of thin air and selling it to the people, as discussed in part 1. We can safely assume that top bankers are in on the scam. The next of the three powers is the military. Again, anyone who has studied war will know that wars are also constructs to control and hide truth from the people, as I will go on to explain. We can safely assume that the top military personnel are in on the scam too. But I hear you say, what about the politicians? The three powers, or the evil system, created politics to give the people a hope and belief they are being represented in this scam. This political system is even worse than the people at the top of this vile pyramid of power. They are being paid to keep their fellow human beings in bondage, and as such are not a power of any consequence to the evil system or the people. The best way to describe this scum is to say they are doing the same job as the Jews in the Nazi death camps who worked for the Germans and helped them push their Jewish comrades into a gas chamber. You may think this is a bit harsh and far-fetched, but the people in this country and many others at the time of these atrocities and many other atrocities did not know people were dying in their thousands. We also have the lower class of people who knowingly or unknowingly have no problem helping and prospering from the evil system. But as regards to putting an end to the evil system are also an irrelevance, as these are the people who are easily mind controlled. The best way I can explain this is to give an example. In any management system in use today, there are managers and workers who will follow any orders without question, even if they know it is affecting themselves and their colleague badly. They have no problem carrying out this evil because their mind control tells them it is for the greater good and has been sanctioned by their parents in their mind and by the evil system in actuality. This very control mechanism, if it were to input justice and fairness instead of fear and greed, will produce the people who will be just and fair, because the system Their mum and dad, if you like, say it's good to be just and fair, and very naughty to be bad. They will follow this mantra as keenly as they are following their evil orders now. So, to sum up the evil system, it is all-pervasive, and it is not just a simple entity you can point a finger at. Back to the story. They have a population with no assets. They have a money system that the people are beginning to see is a scam. In normal circumstances, they would have gone to the old failsafe and instigated a world war, which would have hid the fact that the economy, attached to the normal people, had crashed way before the war had started. The war would end and the people would be told the war has crashed the economy and we need to rebuild again, and the banks would start printing their money again and lending it to the people who had assets to use as collateral. Thus starting boom and bust again. They cannot do this now as the people have no assets, and a world war now runs risks for them. So, understanding in order to keep control of people, they need them to be fighting something. They created a climate change crisis, which is a long-term war to hide the truth and keep people looking the wrong way. But they still needed to change the economic system from wage slave to lease slave. Lease slave being you own nothing and lease things from the system. You sign a contract, pay for any items with your labour. This is recorded with a chip. This chip will also know whether you are a threat to the system, and if needed, ban you from any goods, food and accommodation. In order to do this, they need to get rid of cash, forcing people to rely on the system for everything. They need the time to set up the system to achieve this. They need to stop people communicating face to face, thus stopping people talking about the danger taking hold, and thus avoiding any chance of revolution. They also need to put fear and doubt into everyone's minds and give the impression the system can save them. Can you see anything that enables them to achieve these goals? If you doubt what I am saying, take a look at what Bill Gates has done to the Indian farmers and what the corporations have and are doing to small businesses now. They are taking this capture of assets right down to the individual level. The time to stop the evil has come. Join the people's anti-establishment, anti-corruption party.